My week-long review of the OnePlus Nord N20 5G, and I could tell you, for $282, or if you're getting a new line on T-Mobile, or if you're trading something, you could get this phone for as little as free. Metro PCS, $70, and certainly in that mid-range line, the mid-range offerings, this, in my mind, is the best you're going to do. A fantastic device, and somebody in the preliminary review said, oh man, kind of accusing me of being a hype beast when it came to this phone. Number one, I'd encourage you to watch the other videos that I have. You know that's certainly not the case, as I hate on plenty of devices that come in short. But through all the disappointments that we've had this year, for all the devices that we've seen in the past year or 18 months that were so overhyped and under-delivered when they were finally released, to have something that came out with relatively little fanfare, at least that I saw, one day it wasn't here, then they said, oh, there's going to be next week, there's going to be a Nord N20, it's going to be a T-Mobile and Metro PCS exclusive to start, and it'll be here next week. One day it wasn't in the store, the next day it was in the store, and to pick it up and to have a phone like that be so underhyped, I believe, but yet over-deliver is refreshing. To have a device come in at $282 and to be snappy, to have a wonderful display, to perform as you just want a phone to perform, is wonderful for a change. That should be celebrated. If I do come off as excited about the N20, that's for a reason. Because there's been plenty of devices for the past year that I haven't been as excited about. Because they were so hyped. And then the performance met nowhere near what we were promised, especially for the price tag that they came in at. So for $282, if you don't get a deal, if you just want to buy it, whatever the case may be, or later in the year when it becomes available unlocked on Amazon for roughly, hopefully the same price, $282, to get the beautiful OLED display, to get the Snapdragon 695, which I could tell you is, for all the problems that Qualcomm has had at the flagship level for the past year or so, they absolutely knocked it out of the park at the budget level this year, because I know a lot of people in the comment section were turned off by having a Snapdragon 600 series in there because of some of the 660 series and some of the older ones not really living up to their performance barrier. Sure, they were always good on power efficiency, they were always good on battery, but the performance sometimes on those older chips sometimes lagged behind. The original Moto G stylus, there were a couple other devices that used it back in the day that people were a little underwhelmed by the performance. So I can tell you, this is a completely different Snapdragon 600 series. This one is everything that you'd want in a budget device, and it puts the power and it puts the money that you do spend in the right places. You get a beautiful panel to look at, and you get a nice snappy device to use. Is it the greatest camera in the world? No, but let me tell you something. We're going to put up some shots. We're going to put up a cat shot. Look how a black cat looks. You could count the dust particles on Mr. Handsome, on Xavi. You could see the asparagus, beautiful asparagus on the grill. Some other stuff with the portrait mode. You're limited with the lenses. You're getting a 2x telephoto, I believe, and you're getting just the regular main shooter, which is not bad, not bad. But you're not buying this to be some sort of picture beast. This is a device that if you just want phone stuff to work and you want a beautiful display to look at, this is absolutely going to be the device for you in the budget range, especially with how poorly the Samsung A53 came out. In my mind, the lag and stuff like that, this is where you'd want to spend your money. I understand a lot of people talked about the chin on that. Yeah, you know, at certain device levels, I think we worry about the wrong things. And we're going to be talking about the TCL 30XE either tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to have my initial kind of impressions of that device. That one put in a 90 hertz display, and we'll talk about it then. And I wish that we'd focus on things that mattered. For this device, the 6 gigs of RAM, expandable storage, headphone jack, display, and performance are what mattered. And to have all those boxes checked in a device that comes into the budget range is special. It's different. It's not something that you usually get. So I will tell you, and people, if you got yours, I know a lot of people said that they had ordered theirs and were waiting. Let me know how your experience has been now that you've gotten yours, because I hope it's the same as mine, because there is nothing that I threw at this device, and I tried. I opened Instagram scrolling, Twitter scrolling, Pokemon Go, Facebook, anything that you use within typical usage of this device, YouTube videos, anything I threw at it, the camera stuff. So whatever computational photography they do, it's not a whole heck of a lot. The images aren't the best in the world, but they're pretty darn good. They're ones that you double tap like on an Instagram or see a story and then keep rolling. That's it. It's not gonna, you're not gonna say, well, geez, that was taking on a potato. Nothing like that. And when you're looking at this display, are you worried about that little bit of chin there for $282? Go ahead, spend your money on a device that comes in with some sort of loser processor with 4 gigs of RAM that doesn't run as well, that might even be a touch more expensive because it's whatever, it got whatever spec that you want, and I promise you, it's not going to run the same as this. And I saw a lot of comments as well talking about, well, you can get the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. Well, sort of. I mean, yeah, okay, you can order on Amazon, you get it here. You know, T-Mobile, maybe it'll work right. Other carriers, it won't work right, whatever the case may be. When it's unlocked later in the year, this one, you're going to be able to take it to other places. Will the Xiaomi have that? You know, walk into a T-Mobile store, and when you could come out with a Xiaomi for free for opening up a new line for 24 months, then you could call me. That's what we're comparing these devices to. United States consumers, you know, around the world, this device is popular as well. If you could get one, you should absolutely get one over a lot of other devices. But what I'm saying is price to performance here in the United States in a mid-tier range, near unbeatable. Near unbeatable. So I wouldn't worry too much about other devices that maybe you could get on Amazon for a little cheaper or the same. But yeah, it's got a glass back and it's got this and it's got that. And it's got a 120 hertz display and OLED and all the rest of it. Yeah, okay, well, try to get one for free in a carrier. Walk into a store and walk out with a phone that's this good, paying what you're paying for it. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And until that changes for a lot of other carriers, I wish we had more mid-tier companies and companies making mid-tier devices that you could get in U.S. carriers because the U.S. cellular market is goofy. But until then, to have something like this that you could walk into a T-Mobile store, get a great deal on, get financing on, they're as cheap as I think $11 a month, and walk out with something that's going to serve you this well with Oxygen OS 11, with that 6 gigs of RAM, and with silky smooth performance under $300, you can't beat it. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Build quality, design, we went over that before. Really love it. Really love the flat design to it, that smoke blue, whatever they're calling it. It looks like it gets a couple fingerprints, but it's really not that bad. I love the camera hump design. Love the squared off kind of iPhone-esque design, right? It has the squared off sides. Nice flat panels, front and back, which is really good. And that beautiful OLED, which of course I raved about in the initial review. You're not going to do better than that OLED panel. Headphone jack on this device. Bottom firing speaker, mono speaker, not good. Okay, but how often you use that, I don't know. 33 watt fast charging, which is lightning quick. You're going to, in under an hour, you're going to get all the way back up. You're going to top off for the most part, touch over an hour. Has a good weight to it, doesn't feel cheap at all. Fantastic build. Hole punch in the front. Quality cameras. The quality screen. Going to handle every game that you could throw at it relatively well. You're going to be able to run it on max settings, your Call of Duty Mobile or Genshin Impact? No. But you can run it on medium settings and be just fine. Get decent frames. You only got to get back to 60 frames a second anyway. Scrolling, media, Chrome stuff, anything, texting, anything you think you're going to be able to do, and you're going to be supported by Oxygen OS, which I love the fact that they kept it to Oxygen OS 11 because it runs great. Runs nothing like 12. The Color OS integrations, not that the features themselves were bad, but the integration was bad, didn't run well. So do I come off as this kind of a hype video? Yeah, because like I said at the beginning of the video, it's been so long since we had a device that just did its job and did it well at not $1 million, that not was purported to be the second coming in some sort of hour-long presentation where they went over the cameras and the Hasselblad and this and it does HDR, it does HDR of 8-bit, 10-bit, none of that stuff. Just none of that stuff for a change. Just a phone that just was not there one day and it was there the next day and it's a decent price and you can get good deals on it and it just plain works. Which is a novelty in 2022, a novelty. So when companies do something like this, it's our job to support them because we want more of this. You support them with your dollars and other companies say, hey, well, you know what? OnePlus did that. It worked out pretty well for them. And it has been working out well for them. The N10 was a success, the N100, the N200, and now the N20. Really nice devices from T-Mobile, Metro PC. I hope they open them up sooner. I know a lot of people were saying, geez, I'd love it, but I need it to be unlocked. So hopefully they get on it. And by at least summer, June or July, they're unlocking these on Amazon because they're certainly to be a hit in my mind. Lot to love here. If you're a T-Mobile customer, Metro PCS customer, and you're looking to be sub $300 or pick yourself up a free device with a trade-in or anything like that, run, don't walk to this. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, LongIslandWatch.com. We got the gray waffle dial on today with a little orange accents. Really cool stuff. Go tell Mark hello. Buy a watch. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.